Ando into the pits from the top 5 with front lip damage. Sorry guys, we are back. Sorry about the delay there. Hopefully the video quality is going to be a bit better. I'm trying not to watch it because I can only do so much video at the same time on my computer. Let me ask my team here how everything is looking. Said looking and sounding good. That's great to hear. Anyway, Ando back out of the pits all the way down in 14th place by like 6 seconds. That's going to be really rough for him, but if anyone can come back from it, it's Ando. He's pretty quick. What have we got going on up front since his demise? Second, third, and fourth, bumper to bumper into the hairpin, followed not too far back by the Truth Serum here. Trying to catch back up to them. That drag race up the hill into Spoon can feel like, well, in this car, it can be a little hard. However, corners like Spoon, where it really shines, make up for it. This is a mid-engined four-cylinder turbo-engined car. It's very fun. Lots of downforce, great in the corners. We're going to keep an eye on this top 5 situation, of course, but I do want to see what's going on in the mid-pack. S7R Rusty Baggett's racing all by himself in 6th place. Nothing but clear laps. Be nice to those tires. Be kind to that fuel. And let the battle come to you. Meanwhile, in 7th, we have a battle for 7th between Miss Devious, and BBL Cyclone. Right behind them, we've got the Stig looking to capitalize on it. He is getting closer through the Casio Triangle there, watching these 2 cars ahead of him. I wonder if there's a chance for him in the turn 1. Should those 2 get into it again, we'll stay on board with him and see what happens. Who's coming behind? Nobody behind to really worry about here. What happens to these 2 cars ahead? Stig getting closer in the braking. Can he get a better exit out of here? It's not easy to make a pass around here. However, you can get right up on their bumper for the next opportunity, and that's exactly what he does. Going through the S6, he's going to deal with a little bit of dirty air. He's not going to be able to pass, but like I said, he's gotten himself closer. Behind them, here is Finalizing that awesome bright green and black, oh, and silver livery. That is fantastic. I love that. I don't want to get stuck on that livery though, although we got lots of fun ones. S2T Grave with this Revolution Gaming, is that what that says? Revolution Race Gear livery, looking good as well. Headed through the 2 Degners, some of my favorite corners in racing actually. Degner 1 and Degner 2. Here's S7R Hovercraft. A lot of ground to make up here for him. Started towards the back, of course, but he's made his way up into 12th place. He's followed by Fast Ginger, and a long way back is Ando in 14th, who had to take that pit stop. Shred way back into 15th again. I don't know what happened there. Unfortunately, this was off stream. Whatever it is that happened to him, or them, they've got to get back. Hard work ahead, but plenty of time to do it in, if we're being honest. So, you know, give them some time. He'll get there. You must trust it. We're only 14 minutes into the race. We got a couple of hours here. And I think these drivers are starting to find their rhythm. We're on lap 8. Those who are following behind each other, 2 teammates here, S2T drivers, Dermed and Handsome Banana, both with slightly different versions of the same livery. Whoever made their livery is fantastic, but these 2 clearly working together. Handsome Banana getting that nice draft off of Dermed in the straights. Jay Batty behind them, though, may not be so keen to cooperate. We'll see. Fuel saving is important in this race. A lot of drivers that I know of, who I have spoken to, will be short shifting the car. And so, should be doing all right on fuel if you're behind somebody else. However, those front tires are something to worry about. Suzuka isn't very, very kind to tires, and if you've got dirty air going through corners such as the S's, such as Spoon, you might scrub a little rubber off those tires. However, that can be made up in the 2 very long straights that we have at this track. just with drafting. We'll see how it works out for everyone who's got a partner to draft off of. Not Rusty, though. Rusty's all alone, 3.9 seconds ahead of him, 7.9 seconds behind him. Nothing but clear air for him. Miss Devious still has BBL Cyclone back there, and the Stig as well. Are these three working together? Are they being nice to one another? I don't know. I can't tell yet, but as soon as I can, I'll call it. It's what we do here. Guys, it's round one. Ooh, Cyclone a little bit wide coming out of the second apex of Spoon. He's okay, though. That green stuff right there outside of the curbs is pretty slippery. It's like, I don't know what it is. I think it's painted asphalt. And it's very slippery paint. Very dirty out there. Very slippery. Sometimes you dip a wheel into it and you end up going for a ride. Cyclone able to hang on to it, though. Let's go check on those guys up front. That second, third, fourth battle. Is it a battle for fifth as well? No, the truth, even further back than these guys, actually. Very interesting. You'll notice, for the first time in this season, you can see everyone's tire wear and fuel rate. What are we looking like in lap 9? Lucas, not looking too bad. I just want to see what tires everyone's on. Ooh, Lucas goes purple in that first sector there with no slipstream. Not easy to do down that front straight when the people behind you do have slip. They should be going faster. So far, first through fifth, all on the hard tires. The racing hards and the racing mediums are available in this race from what I can recall. And if I'm recalling it wrong, don't judge me, please. Just love me. I'm going to pull that info up, actually, very soon here. I just want to see everyone else's tires. Racing hards. Racing hards. Racing hards for Grave as well. And for Hovercraft, who's into it with Grave, heading towards the hairpin. Hovercraft on the outside, Grave on the inside. Hover, oh, they touch. Little taps. Are they going to both make it? Oh my gosh, yes, they are. Very close racing, literally wheel to wheel between the two of these. Hovercraft with a better exit. He's going to make it up the hill to Spoon before Grave does. But Grave clearly looking to pass, maybe. Actually, I think this is Grave looking to get a position back. Hovercraft was in 12th the last time we saw, so Hovercraft still making his way up the order. Gets a pass on Grave. Grave obviously wants that position back, but Hover seemingly holding on to it here. They're going to slide towards 130R here. Grave squarely in the slipstream of Hovercraft, should be getting closer. But will he try a pass anywhere here? Into the Casio Triangle is a good place, or if he can get a better exit out of it. He's not close enough to make a move into it, but maybe if he gets out of it quicker than Hovercraft, he can get him by the end of the front straight. Oh, he's not that close. Didn't get a great exit, and he's not in Hover slip. He's getting into it now, but for some reason, for the first fifth or first quarter of that straight, he stayed out of it. I wonder what that's about. He better get wise and use that slip to his advantage here. We're getting down to almost half of a tank of fuel for these drivers. This will be a race where they have to fuel their cars up. Absolutely no questions. Fuel saving, getting fuel into that car quickly, getting as little amount of fuel as you can into that car is important. Here is Batty, though. He has made it to the back of Handsome Banana's car. And is he trying to make a move? He is definitely showing that nose left and right. Oh my gosh, what a brave move into Spoon. And is he going to get it? I think he gets it. He's down the front straight, the back straight rather, in front of Handsome Banana now and chasing down Handsome's teammate, Derned. Handsome Banana, what are you going to do? Are you going to answer that? Meanwhile, the Truth is in the background, watching it all go down, wondering, well, when's my turn? Staying patient, lurking in the background. That's my teammate, guys. The Truth, he is an S7R driver. He just doesn't have S7R in the name. However, he is a big component of the team, an important driver for the team, and has been quick for us in World Cup for many, many seasons here. Durnett is probably watching all this go down behind him like, you guys fight it out. I'm gone. Bye! I don't think they're going to leave you alone, Durnett. I think you're stuck with them. Let's see if I can pull up that tire and fuel wear information for this race. It is different for every race. So, race 1 here, fuel wear rate or fuel use rate is at 1x, tire wear is at 2x. And we will be racing in the afternoon, and sunny, the weather will not change. That is what the weather is. The available tires and required tires are the racing mediums and racing hards for this race. That can change round to round. Some rounds, the racing softs are available. Other rounds, it is just like this, just the hards and the mediums. You will see as we get through the season, of course. Handsome might be slowing down, because, I mean, now the truth is right behind him. Let me see, what have Handsome's last few laps been like? A 2:03.2, not great. A 2:01.8 before that, and a 2:02 flat before that. So that 2:03 is his absolute slowest lap. Maybe got slowed down by the battle with Batty there. As you can see, Batty has run away from him and is starting to harass Durnett. Meanwhile, Handsome Banana does have the truth to worry about. But look at Batty behind Durnett, all under his wing. He is going to have a great run coming out of the Casio Triangle and onto the front straight. What can he do towards turn 1? Durnett going slightly defensive there. Batty not getting much closer. He's going to have to be a little more patient and wait for another opportunity. Follows him straight through turn 1. Easy does it. Wow, he is quick in turn 1. He does pull right back up to Batty's, back up to Durnett's bumper there. Meanwhile, behind them, Handsome Banana and the Truth. A little bit of separation between the two. Maybe the Truth a little slow through turn 1. It can be hard to follow there. Again, that dirty air will get you. But he seems to be okay now. Handsome Banana, purple in that first sector. So far, actually, the fastest lap belongs to our last place driver, Shred with a 2:01.424. Here he is coming up on Fast Ginger now. He's trying real hard to be not last. Of course, I don't blame him, but that quickest lap, 2:01.424 is, whoa! Oh, come on, camera. Bring me back to them. Side by side in the S's. Shred aggressive through the S's here. Fast Ginger's just going to let him through because, man, it ain't worth it to crash this early in the race. It's only lap 12. Shred eager to get past. That was, well, that was something. That was a pass there. Unfortunately, the camera angle was just wrong to catch it right, but I think we got enough of it. I think we seen enough of it. It was good. It was good. I commend him for sure. Any new chats? Nothing going on in chat, and that is okay. I will talk to you guys sooner than later, hopefully. Ando, up to 13th, starting to catch up to Cyclone. Cyclone chasing Grave down, about a second between the two of them, but Grave isn't exactly running away from him. Hovercraft in 10th, all alone, still 4.5 seconds to either side of him, really. 4.6 seconds, just about. Finalized is in 9th place, following the Stig and Mischievous. Stig has slowly been making his way up the order. It's another one of my teammates, so I gotta brag on him, of course. But Stig, starting in last, he's made his way up to 8th. He is now squarely in the mid-pack of this field here. And looking to do even better. Mischievous is not safe up there at all. We're looking at about half a tank of fuel for most drivers now that I've seen as we've gone through the order. Rusty Maggots in 6th, showing the same thing. He's got all the space still. 5.8 seconds to the Truth ahead of him, and 13 seconds to Mischievous behind. So huge separation between the top of the field and the middle and back of the field already this early on in the race. Different strategies might play out that can change that and might bring the field back together a little bit. I'm glad that most people are in bunches, though. I think the truth is getting closer to this field, though, and Handsome as well. I think maybe they've been working together to get a bit closer, because, yeah, Handsome back to only half a second behind Batty there. And before, it was a good bit. Look at Lucas in the foreground. What's his gap? 3.7 seconds to second place for Lucas. He is absolutely running away from them. Doesn't have the fastest lap, but has been eating a steady diet of 201s lately in the high 201s. The last one, the 201.9, 201.8s before that. He's about to finish a lap here. Let's see what it is. You can see those front tires starting to wear a little bit for him. That's going to make corners like this one a little bit tougher, a little bit slower. And yeah, he goes 202, his first 202 in the race so far. I expect to see most people behind him starting to do the same. Not Dermed, though. He goes faster than he's gone in a few laps with a 201.9. Batty! You're getting behind. You're getting left. It's 0.8 to Dermed now, and now Handsome Banana is well within that half-second gap to him, trying to get his position back. He lost it a couple of laps ago. He wants it back. He wants to run with his teammate again, and Batty is keeping them apart. Batty, that's messed up, bro. Why would you do that? Batty Purple again in that first sector. He is very quick there. He hasn't put together the actual fastest lap, but he's clearly showing pace in those S's. It's very important to go quickly through there. Honestly, it's very important to go quickly in every corner here at Suzuka. This is a very challenging track. Making mistakes is very costly. You don't want to make them, and that's why I love it. Honestly, I love this track because it took me forever to get good at it, and the tracks I spent the most time getting to know are the tracks that I love the best. And ironically, the tracks I spend the most time on are the tracks that are hardest for me. I don't know how to call it. It's weird. It's who I am. Let's go see what's going on behind these guys. Hopefully we don't miss anything before we get back. Well, the Stig has made his way up into 7th place, but something must have happened because he's got past Misdevious, and it's already an entire second and a half. Meanwhile, Misdevious is well within finalized clutches and in trouble here as they head towards 130R. Finalized, looking left, looking right. He's going to get alongside on the inside for 130R. Can he be brave here and keep that position? I think he's got it. Doesn't go out wide. That's another position lost for Misdevious. And it's looking like he's in trouble there. Finalized is going to try to catch back up to the Stig. He's lost the slip from Stig, however, so he's going to have to put the pedal down. Stig, meanwhile, trying to run away from this pack, trying to get out of this battle, while Hovercraft is about to get into it. Hover in 10th place, hovering in the background. I'm sorry, why would you guys let me make that pun? Somebody should have stopped me before it came out of my mouth. Hovercraft, watching, waiting, lurking, making his way closer and closer in the S's. There he is, turning that wheel slightly before he needs to counteract that dirty air. And sure enough, getting closer to Misdevious, who is struggling themselves with dirty air behind Finalized. And Hover right there, patient through the final S corner and short shifting that RCZ, trying to save fuel behind these two drivers in an effort to maybe jump them in the pits if you can't make the pass on the track. It's a long way from a pit stop, though. You probably should try to make that pass on the track. It is too soon to try and be patient behind drivers if you have got the pace. So I expect to see Hover making a move any minute now on Misdevious. Devious on that gas pedal, just slightly short shifting the RCZ. It is uphill, don't want to short shift it too much, but he's got some slipstream ahead of him. Got a nice little hole being punched in the air by Finalized ahead, but ooh, slower than Finalized in Spoon. You can see even Hovercraft get a little bit closer there. Hover gonna be right in that hole punched by Misdevious, actually, and he is starting to get closer. Nope, sorry, that timing is a little bit off. It did just reset. I think he is getting closer now, but he's already at the end of the straight. He has run out of straight here. What's he gonna do in the braking towards the triangle? Oh, Hover way later on the brakes, gets way closer. Fantastic job by him, and a good exit out of the Casio triangle to make a run onto the front straight here with Misdevious. Finalized, meanwhile, has got himself a lot more breathing room. 1.4 seconds ahead of time. Ooh, Hover trying to trick Misdevious into thinking he's going to try something in the turn one. Misdevious, though, keeps his composure. Her composure? Their composure? I'm going to have to find out who's who and what they go by, but Misdevious not fooled by the fake dive there by Hover. However, Hover clearly showing that he wants it and he's going to go after it if Misdevious doesn't bring the pace up. Ando back up into the 11th place after having to take that early pit stop for damage, and he is definitely on a tear. Couple of 203s the last couple of laps, but those don't seem to be his pace. Maybe just trying to get past Cyclone here, because he was doing mid 202s just before that. You don't go from mid 202s to 203s like that. So I would imagine that Ando still got some pace in that RCZ here. I didn't mean to go forward, I meant to go backwards. Cyclone behind Ando, trying to follow in his footsteps. Shred out of last place and up into 13th. We did see him make that move on Fast Ginger a couple of laps ago, and now he's made another one above ST2 Grave. That's hard to say, S2T. S2T, not ST2. S2T. Sounds like I'm speaking bad French. S2T? Oui, oui. Grave, 14th place, and look how far ahead of Fast Ginger he is. Fast Ginger, 14 seconds back on the track here. That's going to be tough to make up. That is going to be tough to make up. We're about halfway through our first stint here with these drivers. How long have we been racing for? I can't see that because it's too small. Let's try to make it a little bit bigger for me. About 33 minutes, 35 minutes into the race is where we are. Sorry, bear with me. I'm trying to figure out my screens and figure out where I can see things better. I know what to do. I know what to do. And I've done it. Woo! Lucas, our leader, holy, he just keeps getting faster and faster. 4.9 seconds now. He dipped back into the 201s briefly on laps 14 and 15, so found some speed somewhere. Now back into a 202, and currently not sure what he's on pace for, but fast. That's what he's on pace for, is fast. S2T Dermed has been quiet over the last several laps, as finally breaking away from Batty. 1.5 seconds of space there. However, at Suzuka, that gets eaten up real quick. One mistake, one slip, one sideways exit from a corner, and you've got 3 other RCZs breathing down your neck. Batty, followed by Banana, followed by Truth, all ready and waiting to grab that podium spot. Ooh, Batty, that looked not good, but I think it might have just been the angle, but it looked like he slid sideways going into 130R. Not sure how accurate that was, but whew, my heart leapt into my throat. Oh my gosh. I thought they were not going to be okay there. Look at this shot. These RCZs look so good in racing, guys. I really do love this car. I was driving it earlier this week at Suzuka. I jumped into a practice lobby. I promise not to spy, just so that I could get a feel for the car, but really because I also really love this car and love this track, so I had to feel it out. It was pretty quick, hitting some 202s on the hards with the occasional, a very occasional dip into the 201s for me there. Obviously harder to do in actual racing. I was just in a practice lobby, chilling, nobody bothering me. These guys, however, are truly quick, consistent 202s on worn racing hards, consistent 201s when they weren't worn. I could only hope, you know, I could only hope. This is why I love Lobby 1 racing. Previously, I only got to jump in here when Chris, our fearless leader, couldn't make it. However, this year, I got the promotion, and I'm already happy with it. We're only one round into 12, y'all. Pay attention to this championship. I promise you will not be disappointed in what's going on and what you're going to experience. Can we go back to, yeah, let's go back to this screen real quick while we are watching the action. This is the standings after qualifying for all of the drivers who qualified. Pay attention to those red ones. That's all we have to worry about here in Lobby 1. We have enough pro drivers that every Lobby 1 race should only have pros in it. Lucas, of course, qualifying first there. And the very last one is HPR. He's in Lobby 2 today, but HPR is pretty quick. It wouldn't surprise me to see him here next week. The way the lobbies are set up is that so your fastest lap in the previous race is basically your qualifying lap for the next race. So whoever gets the fastest lap here today will be starting Lobby 1 in pole. Now, in previous seasons, the last 2 seasons, I believe, definitely at least the last one, that fastest lap rule applied across classes. So if you were an AM driver, but you got the absolute fastest lap for all the races that weekend, then guess what? You were starting in pole position in Lobby 1. That is no more. Now that fastest lap qualifier only counts within your class. So the fastest AM driver will simply start at the top of the AM list, whatever lobby that is, and that typically will be Lobby 4, perhaps Lobby 3, if we have drivers who can't make it. The fastest pro driver, or rather the slowest pro driver, even if there are pro-AMs or AMs who are faster, will start at the back of the pro class, not a mixed class. And we hope that that will bring about some better racing, as previously there were some issues with drivers who, you know, maybe had a fantastic lap, however, couldn't really keep up race pace in the next race because, well, because they didn't quite have Lobby 1 pace, right? One fast lap does not mean that you are quick in the actual race there. Who is this? This is Grave over Cyclone. Cyclone is falling down to 14th place. Not sure what happened there. No damage on the car. But I don't remember Cyclone being way down here. I think I remember Cyclone being with Ando. Speaking of Ando, here's Shred stalking him. Shred getting a little bit closer last few laps in the low 202s. Ando doing mid 202s, one low one, but not very consistent. And of course, those are those two 203s that I mentioned earlier for him. So he's gonna have to watch himself as Shred chases him down. Shred not been having a great race so far. He was off onto the side of the track in turn 1 and very lap 1. But we have 4 drivers here, all within the same kind of amount of real estate on the track. Misdevious following Hover, who's made his way up into 9th place here. Well done by Hover. Hover and Ando both rocking those S7R liveries. So Misdevious in an S7R sandwich, probably unsure of what's about to happen. And well, I can take a guess, probably not great things You know, Ando is coming fast. He's got Shred to worry about, of course. And so I'm sure he really wants to put a car in between himself and Shred. And Miss Devious is looking real nice to be that buffer. Meanwhile, Hover trying to run away. Ando desperate to get to his teammate and see if they can make a run for it together. Ooh, Ando that much closer to Shred. What's he doing? The braking for the hairpin. Gets even closer. He doesn't make a move, but he does dive towards that apex just a little bit sooner than Miss Devious, making sure he is in Devious's mirrors, trying to see if he can psych him out into making a mistake there. That's how I drive. I may not be quick, but I will hound you as long as I can. Here comes Shred, though. Ando being slowed down by Miss Devious, actually, and that's bringing Shred much closer. Meanwhile, Hover getting away from all of it. Miss Devious not safe. Ando not safe. Miss Devious going defensive towards 130R. Ando brave, though. He's going to get alongside on the inside and push his way through. Here comes Shred trying to see what he can do. He gets to the outside of Miss Devious. That will give him the inside into Casio. Oh, he goes deep into the brakes. Knocks Ando off track. Ando sideways off the track into the wall. Miss Devious has nowhere to go but to hit the brakes. And, oh, man, really bad luck for Ando there. Just minding his own business. Has to get back on track here. Meanwhile, Shred is the one who went very deep into the brakes there, trying to make a move around Miss Devious out of 130R and into the triangle. And unfortunately, really messes up Ando's race here. Ando was trying to make his way up the order, and now he's got Grave behind him, dirty tires, and damage to that front splitter again. He'd already pitted for that before, and he's going to struggle with that front splitter damage. He opted not to pit. Maybe gonna feel the car out first, see what kind of speed he's got in it, or maybe just wait to pit for fuel and tires before changing anything and fixing that damage, because it might not be worth taking another unscheduled pit stop. Really unfortunate for Ando there. Meanwhile, Grave and Cyclone's battle interrupted and affected by Ando's presence, though he's already starting to pull away a little. I do wonder if he's going to be able to stay away once he hits straights. Areas like this coming towards the hairpin, up the hill, of course, towards Spoon. That's where they're going to head after this hairpin. Let's see if he's able to get away from Grave, or if that aero damage is going to limit his top speed. Yeah, Grave getting closer and closer as they get towards the end of that short straight up the hill. It's not really straight, but it is full throttle. Oh, back behind Grave! The Cyclone, Grave off into Spoon. It's so easy to do that there. He just misses himself, gets out in that slippery stuff, and so much for seeing if he was going to catch up to Ando. Let's watch Cyclone to see if he gets closer. Absolutely, he is taking time out of Ando in chunks on that back straight. Coming up to the front straight, he's going to have the slip. Ando's going to have damage. Will Ando jump into the pits? Let's watch and see what is happening. Cyclone off track behind Ando. Ando lives to see another day. Both drivers who were right on his bumper, who he was in danger of losing positions to, both of them out on tricky parts of the track here. Cyclone lucky to get away with no damage. That was Grave, who just passed by. That little battle all broken up by driver-made mistakes, self-made mistakes. I don't think that Cyclone got into Grave. I think Grave messed himself up into Spoon there, and Cyclone messes himself in the Casio triangle. Well, let's go up front where it's calm. Let's just go to where it's calm. This is Lucas, la-di-dawing up front, as he has been all race long. I like it here. It's peaceful, it's quiet, it's calm. If you can call a straight piped, screaming 4-cylinder turbo race engine calm, it's as calm as it gets, I think. Meanwhile, ho, look at Jermad. He's in danger. He run away for quite some time, but here is Batty looking to make a move into Casio, and he knocks him off the track just a little bit. Dermed with those left-hand tires on the outside. He's lucky to save it, and now he wants to fight back, but his own teammate, Banana, is behind him, looking to push him. Give him a little bump draft, Banana. Give him a little bump draft. That's right. Keeps him in second place there. Batty gonna try to make a move to keep second. Oh, Dermed, too much speed, and he's gonna spin it in first. He's gonna spin it in the first corner. He's out of the fight. He's got to stay off track here. Here comes another car. Here comes the Sting. Oh, that was close. That was close. Dermed with a safe return on track. Oh, those dirty tires. He's gonna be slow through the S's. He loses out on that battle. Batty. Ooh, Batty, a little Batty. I don't think there was a touch there. I do think that, oh man, I do think that Dermed was just trying to outbrake him into turn one. Batty was on the inside, looked like he was going to take that dive, and honestly, he was going to take that dive. And so Dermed just trying to outbrake him, unfortunately gets himself out into that slippery stuff, goes out wide, misses the turn, and now he's out of this podium fight here. Batty in second, Banana in third. The Truth has just been chilling the whole time behind all of this. Hasn't really gained any positions outside of just now, with Derned ending up, Derned rather, with it, it's an N, not an M. Derned ending up off track there, turn one. Guys, I'm gonna lose my voice. I gotta stop screaming. But things keep happening, and we're not even that deep into the race yet. Like, I'm stressed. I'm stressed that I might not be able to keep calling it. We're only 46 minutes in. That means we still got an hour and 15 of this to go. Rusty, 5th place, still alone, but yes, has gained that position. Now out of 6th into 5th place. Rusty, not looking too bad fuel and tire wise there. Some have saved more, as you can see. Lucas somehow with very much a lot of saved fuel there, even without slipstream, but he's just been chilling up front. Batty with a little more than a quarter tank as well, one of the higher fuel counts that I've seen so far going through the order, which is ironic given that he's been fighting his way up this order the entire time. This is what Handsome Banana's fuel looks like. Handsome Banana's been up front for a long time as well without losing out. Well done to the Banana, of course. Qualified in 3rd for the season, so sitting in that qualifying spot, of course. Meanwhile, the Truth behind him in 4th place. The Truth qualified in 10th place, started this race in 10th. I didn't even realize that. All the way up into 4th place and just relaxing, keeping the pace, not letting these 2 drivers get too far ahead of him. Used to be 3 drivers, but that's done now. Rusty in 5th place, started this thing in 11th, so S7R making their way up the order mostly. Derned, unfortunately, with that unfortunate off there. Where did Derned start this thing? That might be Oden in 2nd that I'm seeing. It might be who Derned is. I will have to double check that, and hopefully in subsequent rounds I'll have an answer for you. The Stig started this thing in dead last, qualified 15th. He's made his way up into 7th, got himself past finalized here. Finalized, meanwhile, started in 9th place, so people making their way up. Just one position, but is there. It counts. It counts. Where did Shred start this race? Shred started in 7th place. Remember him falling down the order very, very early on. First lap, first turn, and then something else happened. He ended up last again after regaining some positions. But Shred up into 9th place here, followed by Hovercraft. Hover started in 14th, just in front of Xander. Stig, Xander, that is, and he's made his way up to 10th place. Miss Devious, I love that name. Miss Devious, though, up only 1 position from 12th place. That's where they started this race. Let's see what they can do. How far? They're 10.5 seconds behind Hover, and not really doing that much better on fuel, so not going to make any sort of progress in the pits, I don't think. It's not going to be fuel that catches them up to Hover if they can Ando, who we just saw had that unfortunate off on top of taking damage earlier in the race. They are just running with the damage this time. Front splitter damage, you can see that flashing on your screen there. Ando started this thing in 4th place, finds himself down in 12th. Still, there's a lot of racing left in this season. You can have a bad race and still do great in the season. And Ando looking to see what he could salvage in this one, of course, but the rest of the season, 11 more rounds still to play. Cyclone is in 13th place. He started in 5th, so Cyclone not having a great race either, just trying to figure it all out. Grave sits in 14th currently, and I don't see where Grave started. There he is, started in 8th place, so Grave also not doing that great. Fast Ginger started 13th, down to 15th by not too much, 2.5 seconds behind Grave here, but obviously we've seen Grave have some offs. The only battling we see is right here between Batty, who's gone from Handsome Banana already, 1.3 seconds. Batty finding some speed. What's he doing? 202s. Did a 201 just a lap ago, but he just completed a 202.6, a 201.9 on lap 24. Don't know where he found that. Must have been Slipstream, because that's crazy. 203s, another couple 202s. So Batty speeding around here. Handsome Banana a little more consistently in the 202s. 203.6 a couple of laps ago. So one not great lap. Meanwhile, the Truth, same story. 202s mostly. 203 around the same lap as Handsome Banana. So I think all of them had a 203 on lap 23. That must have been when they got into it together. Everyone slowed down just a little bit there. Rusty is actually getting closer. It's 3.9 seconds, 4 seconds behind the Truth. And as I recall, that gap has been up to 6 seconds at times. So the Truth maybe getting some help here. Let's see, what direction is the wind going in? It is a crosswind, and it's slightly behind the drivers as they head towards 130R, towards the end of the track there, which might not be helpful in 130R, just looking at the direction of the wind. Sometimes, though, you get a favorable one, and you can put together some really good laps. Ooh, we got something brewing between the Stig and Finalized here. Stiggin made that pass on Finalized a little while ago, but hasn't been able to fully get away. He's doing 203s now. Finalized behind, also doing 203s, but a 202.8 last lap around. That's what brought him a little bit closer to the back of Stig's car. Uh-oh. Thought I heard some extra tire scrubbing. Everything's fine. Nobody was going off track there. Just thought for a second, what's happening? Those hard tires are really starting to wear, starting to show signs of falling off. However, they're going to have to run them a bit longer. If I recall correctly, the optimum strategy is to run about 32 laps on the hards, 32, 33, and 27 on the medium. Don't hold me to that, because I can't even remember the full number of laps that people are expecting to get out of this race. I feel like 49, just about, maybe 50 for the absolute quickest. The folks like Lucas, Batty up front there. But I think 49, maybe even 48 is what's expected for the more human drivers in this lobby. Of course, we have a while to see yet. We're only on lap 27, so we have a little bit before we get there and can really predict how many laps drivers can expect. But obviously, they want to minimize the time that they spend on the hards. It is the slower of the two tires, and they don't want to jump on the mediums too soon and kill them. So a nice balance there is to be found. Strategy is very important in these races. These drivers, I know for a fact, my team at least, they run several full-length races to try and figure out what is quickest. Finalized trying to interrupt, trying to disrupt Stig there, getting side by side into the hairpin. I think he wants to get past. Stig has to decide, am I going to fight to keep him behind me, or am I going to let him through? Can we go faster together? I don't know the answer to that question, but Finalized not looking to wait around and find out. Showing the nose, trying to feign that he's going to make a move into 130R. The Stig staying defensive into the triangle. Can the over-under work here for Finalized? No, he's not going to get it. Has to simply settle for, hopefully, a good exit out of the triangle to try again into turn 1. Stig trying to break that toe there. Doesn't quite do it. And he's not even going to continue trying. He's just going to go straight, and that's fine, because I don't think Finalized is close enough to make a move, and he messes up, and he goes out wide in turn 1, loses out there, just trying to stay on Stig's bumper, but those front tires are worn out. That air is dirty, and unfortunately, a little twitch sends him off to the side. Luckily, he saves it, gets on track pretty quickly, and hasn't lost too much time. He's less than 2 seconds behind Stig. Of course, he's going to have to let those tires clear up going through the S's, but yeah, he's going to have to work to get back up to Stig there. So easy to do that in the turn 1 when you're trying to follow behind someone, trying to do what you need to do. But you can notice, let's go back to his car, those rear tires, they're pretty worn out. So are the fronts, of course. It's kind of even wear. However, you do have more weight in the back of that car. It's a mid-engine car, and if you don't have enough traction in the front, it's easy to start losing it. I think what happens is he started to lose that rear end, turned the wheel, got the grip, and ended up going off track, unfortunately. Again, very fortunate that it wasn't a spin or anything like that, and he's already caught another 4/10 back on Stig. So he'll be back. He'll definitely be back to fight. Durned all alone on track now after being in front of the pack, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and even 5th place for so long. He finds himself alone in 6th, basically doing what Rusty was doing when he was in 6th that whole time. 8 seconds to the clear in front, and 16.5 behind. Rusty, meanwhile, trying to catch the Truth, trying to catch Banana. That gap has kind of steadied out. 3.8 seconds is what it was when we checked a couple of laps ago. That has not changed. The Truth still following Handsome Banana closely. What's the fuel difference between them? Handsome Banana with way more fuel than Truth. So Truth has been doing a great job saving that gas. Handsome Banana, assuming they pit at the same time, will probably make up some time in the pits and jump ahead of him. The Truth, of course, can go for an undercut. I don't think he's being slowed down by Banana, though. So I don't know if that would work for him. I don't know if pitting first and getting out of that traffic would help, because he's not in traffic, really. He's got a second between him and Banana. It's not like Banana's hindering him in any way. Batty, meanwhile, not quite running away from this group. He did get about a 1.5 seconds in the clear after making that pass on Handsome Banana, but now that's back down to just 1 second. And so the pace there in the beginning, the pace there to fight through the pack, and now not quite running away from the pack. Maybe doesn't want to either. Maybe just wants to get up front, maintain that gap, continue saving fuel, because Lucas is so far up the road. 8 seconds in front of Batty, so there's not really a point in trying to chase him down with those worn tires right now. You only have a few more laps to go on them. You're gonna jump on the mediums, see what your pace is on the mediums in comparison to Lucas, but currently he is absolutely beating them up. Handsome Banana into the pits. He's gonna go ahead and break that seal first, get off the hards and onto a set of mediums. Drivers, Durned in as well. They are, of course, teammates, possibly just on the same strategy. These teammates practice together all week long, 2 weeks long, actually, since the qualifying racing happened a few weeks ago. So they're going to share their strategy. They have another teammate, I believe, back here. Not Devious, though. Devious in trouble with Ando. Ando coming up behind them. Will one of them pit? Ando could pit here to get out of this traffic. Maybe. There's no point in staying slow behind this Devious. Go ahead and pit. Fix that damage on that wing. Yep, that's exactly what he's doing. He's going to jump in for his set of mediums. Now, drivers must pit for tires, of course. The racing hards and the mediums, both at play, both mandatory tires. Drivers can choose not to fuel, though. So you can only do either one once. You can only change tires once. You can only fuel up once. In this race, it looks like tires and fuel together is what makes sense, as if you look at the fuel right there, you're already down to a quarter tank. There's no reason not to fuel up here. So we'll watch as Ando gets some fuel into his car. I want to make sure I got that right. So fuel and tires, you can only do each one once. You can pit whenever you want. There's no longer a pit window. If you're used to there being a pit window in this series, that's gone. Drivers can pit whenever they like. However, they do have to pit between the two required tires. Do have to switch, rather, between the two required tires. And, of course, if they need to take fuel, they can only do that once as well. The Truth is also in, as is Rusty Maggot. So all of S7R pitting together here on lap 30. Getting off those hards, getting off that worn slow tire, putting some fuel in the car, and then jumping onto the racing medium for the faster part of the race. I expect to see a new fast lap coming in any minute now from one of these drivers getting on their new tires. What's going on track here? Hover still out. Rusty Maggots is in. So Hover, the only S7R driver on track who hasn't jumped into the pits yet, is going to take one more lap on those hard tires and then jump on the medium. Drivers still taking fuel. They're going to need a lot for the rest of this race here. We are about halfway through, 1 hour and 2 minutes. So fuel tanks were pretty empty, pretty low for a lot of these drivers. Some came in with a lot, though. Ando had a full quarter tank still in that thing. So they're just going to fuel up to whatever they think they need to finish this race. ST2 Grave passing the pits. He's not going to jump in yet. The Truth and Rusty both coming out of the pits on their fresh mediums. Where are they going to come out? Here's Fast Ginger. They end up coming out way ahead of Fast Ginger. Wasn't an issue there. I thought we might get a little bit of, not a collision, but just a little traffic there. But both drivers getting out ahead of the two drivers on worn hards coming up the straight behind them. The Truth 1.9 seconds ahead of Rusty. So Rusty was in the pits a little less time than the Truth was. That used to be a 4-second gap. If you recall, the Truth was a bit low on fuel in comparison to most other people that I saw. So that's reflected in the fact that he had to stay in the pits a little bit longer to gas up. Catch up on chat messages here. Sleepy says, yo, hello, S7R Sleepy. Coming in to support the team. Let's go, team. Better than the Tyson fight. You know what? Yeah. Any battle is better than the Tyson fight. We are not here to make fun of a living legend, though. Are we, Sleepy? Is that what we're here to do? Man. Phosp3 says, come on, Banana and Odin. Well, come on then. Banana is doing pretty well in the race. Just pitted. came out just behind Miss Devious. Miss Devious is on those worn hards though, and probably going to pit soon. Not this lap though, they're just jumping into the S's here. Banana going to be severely hindered by Miss Devious. This is traffic in a part of the track where you can't easily pass. He's gonna have to just stay patient behind Miss Devious. Ooh. Miss Devious touching the grass there as they get into the last corner of the S's. Coming up, passing that entrance to the short club track, which cuts off the majority of Suzuka. That's a very fun track in and of itself. It's mostly just the front straight and the S's, and then back around to the front straight again. Banana still held up by Miss Devious through both Degner corners. Now the hairpin. Miss Devious defensive into the hairpin, even with those worn tires, wanting to slow that opponent down. Can Banana get a better exit out of there? Slightly better, but is there room to make something happen here? It is a drag race. There wasn't a whole lot of room there. What's Handsome going to do? He's got the better grip. Should be able to dive deeper into the brakes here, and does, but kind of messes up that first corner. Miss Devious almost gets right back alongside for the second corner. The Stig is in. So that was another S7R driver who hadn't pitted. I didn't even notice. The Stig in with 8 liters of fuel left in that car. But man, Miss Devious gets past here, and I think that should be the hint to go ahead and pit, go ahead and get some fresh tires. You have other drivers out here who are on the mediums. They're having medium tire pace, and the hards have fallen off. It's time to get on pace with the other drivers here. Let's see what Miss Devious does. No, Miss Devious stays out. Stays out. Handsome Banana looking to break the toe. Miss Devious not even trying to follow to get it, but Miss Devious on their own strategy here. I do wonder what they're waiting on. We're on lap 33, or starting lap 33 of the race. There's no need to stay on the hards that long unless you think you can't make the mediums last, which could be a thing. Could be a thing. Into the pits, the Stig, as I mentioned before. Tires are on, just fueling up now. Grave also jumping in that team, waiting, ready and waiting. The fueler is out, the tires are out. He's going to jump on his mediums. Every driver started the race on the mediums today, so everyone on the same tire strategy pretty much. But as you can see, pit stop strategy a little bit different between the drivers, even amongst drivers of the same team. Graves' 2 teammates, Banana and Derned, pitted a lap or 2 ago, and Grave just now jumping in. Hannah Rogers, kill it hover, I'm out, and Hannah gone. HRA Romeo, let's go Grave. Let's go Grave indeed. Lucas, our leader, still has not pitted. I would say I don't know what he's waiting on, but he's been showing the pace, so I don't even think that he really needs to worry about it. He's gonna rock those mediums towards the end of the race, and hopefully keep that lead. Batty staying behind him as well. Batty probably thinking to himself, I'm just gonna pit. When he pits, not gonna change anything. Batty has a little more fuel than Lucas does in that car. He might get a little bit closer in the pits, we're not sure, but Batty was one of the better fuel savers through the first half of this race here. Now we're entering the second half. We're about 10 minutes into it. Those mediums are grippier. So, fuel, ooh, woo! Batty drifting his way out of the hairpin there. Those rear tires just starting to lose their effectiveness, starting to lose their grip. He's going to want to be careful out of those slower corners. To that point, the mediums, where I was going, are grippier than the hards, and so you can get on the gas a little bit earlier. And when you have that for about an hour, a little less than an hour, it does add up. It adds up to your fuel mileage not being as great on the medium than as on the hard, again, because you're getting on the gas that much sooner out of corners. You're also braking deeper, so you're on the gas longer on the straights because you get to brake later. So drivers gonna have to be careful that they've noticed that, hey, my fuel mileage will not be the same in the second stint as the first. Our 2 leaders are in. Lucas is in with 9 liters of fuel in the car. Batty with 10. I thought it was more significant than that, but it's not. Just 1 liter. Fueling happens at 1 liter per second, I believe, in this championship. So that is 1 second if they both want to fuel up to the same level. Batty could potentially gain a second on Lucas. It's hard to stop that fueler at the right time, though. I love Batty's car. Love the livery. Love the yellow headlights there. I love to put yellow headlights on GT cars. It just feels right. Finalized is also in. So let's see. Lucas in already. Batty finalized, of course. Here comes Shred. Who else needs to come in? Handsome Banana has already been in. Got those mediums on. Durned in. One of the earlier ones. Miss Devious needs to come in. Let's see if they do here as they come through the final corners of lap 34. What are they going to do? They are going to dive into the pits there. Don't touch that line. That's a 3-second penalty. Hopefully they didn't. Truth has already changed tires. We already just talked about Miss Devious. Rusty on new tires. We keep going back to Miss Devious. Cyclone needs to pit. Has passed the entrance again. So BBL Cyclone marching to the beat of his own drum. He's got 1 more lap to go on fuel, and so that's what he's going to choose to do. Who else? Sorry, it gets weird when everyone's passing those in the pits. It changes their order. Here comes Hover. He's already changed tires. Ando, of course, was in. Grave, of course, was in. So that set of pit stops was the last set we'll see outside of Cyclone, who, for whatever reasons in their strategy, is staying out 1 more time. They probably only have 1 lap of fuel left, though. Miss Devious taking fuel now. I like those wheels on Miss Devious's car. Excuse me. Ando in 13th place on the mediums. Not really going to be able to catch Shred easily. Shred is 20.6 seconds ahead with fresher rubber on that car. Stig, though, being hounded by Shred here. Stig pitted a couple of laps before Shred, or no, 1 lap before Shred. So showing a little bit of wear on those mediums, but it's not too bad. It's only 1 lap's worth. Here comes Shred, though. Deep into the hairpin. That was aggressive. Wasn't able to make it stick. Stig with a better exit. It's kind of hard when you're on the inside of that hairpin. You dive in, but it's actually kind of slippery and off camber there. So it's very easy to lose grip in the front. But Shred still makes it in front of Stig to dive into the first of the 2 apexes for Spoon. And he's able to make that move stick here. Can he get away from Stig in this straight? Headed into 130R. Can he get slip from his teammate? Finalized. He's too far. He's 1.3 seconds behind Finalized. That is just out of slipstream range here. We have the slipstream setting to quote-unquote real in this game. I don't know how well it works. A lot of people feel like it's actually too much and that it causes too much dirty air. I've been in a few leagues that actually run the slipstream on weak, as they feel like it's a little more realistic. Perhaps. Miss Devious gets out in 14th place. I think that's a big loss there. Grave comes out in 15th, 25% or 25 minutes. Oh my gosh. 25 seconds. I could not pick a unit. Percent, minutes, seconds. 25 seconds behind Miss Devious. So in dead last here. Ooh, and stuck on the outside of 130R. Lucky not to spin it, but that's gonna be very, very slow there. Not what you want to see. Lucas, meanwhile, did indeed lose some time to Batty in the pits. Goes purple there, though. Purple in that, oh my gosh, what sector are we in here? The final sector, or sorry, the second to final sector. I believe there are 3 sectors around Suzuka. Let me see. Front straight through the S's is 1. S's down through, I think there's one right under the bridge past the Deckner, so that's 2. And then the third one is from the hairpin through halfway down the back straight, and you have the 4. So, 4 sectors on the track. Lucas, fastest in the third. He does have the fastest lap with a 1:59.9. Is that the lap he just did? It is the lap that he just did. That is his fastest lap so far. And I think he's only going to get quicker. I mean, he just got on those mediums. They're not worn. He doesn't have anyone to battle. Batty, of course, chasing him down. Batty doing a 2-minute flat. Welcome back, Hannah. What's Banana got going on? Banana with a 2:02.5 that last lap. They pitted a little while ago, so there's no reason for their last lap to be that slow. Maybe a mistake made there. The last 2 laps, actually, a 2:02 and a 2:01, they came out dropping 2s. So, 2 flat. So, Banana having a couple of issues in the last couple of laps here. Teammate Derned back up into 4th place. Not quite in podium contention. He's got 7 seconds to Handsome Banana, but much better than no man's land in the 6th place where he found himself just before the pit stops. He's been dropping a steady diet of 2:01s. The last one, a 2:01.4. He's got a 2:01.1 on lap 35, so very fast there. The Truth in 5th place behind him in the 2s. Still in the 2s. 1:2:01 there, but the Truth going faster than Derned in front of him, and I expect them to come together very soon here. It's 1.1 seconds is that gap. We'll come back to it in a moment. I want to check on everyone else. Rusty's all alone. Cyclone is all alone. 12, 13 seconds to either side. Cyclone still hasn't pitted. I thought he only had 1 lap of fuel left the last time we looked at him. He's got to pit this time, surely. Look at that fuel. There's no way he stays out. This would be our last pit stop. Cyclone trying really hard to use those mediums or keep them fresh as long as possible, but I do wonder if he's waited too long on those hards. Are the mediums going to wear so bad that he catches up to everyone else who hadn't pitted? That is the question. Behind him, we have a 3-way battle for 8th. Hover, finalized. Shred, all in it. Am I wrong? Shred, finalized. Yep, Hover. All there in this battle. You can see finalized back there trying to break the toe. Why would you try to break the toe from your own teammate? How rude. Finalized in front of Shred, trying to keep him behind him. Hover just hoping they get into it together so that they leave him alone. I want to go see what's going on with the Truth and Derned, though. Whoa. 1.5 seconds. So the Truth not really catching up here. You think he'd at least try to get into slip. Since that's not popping off, we're going to go back to where we were. Guys, I got to get my keyboard working so I can just jump straight to folks. I'm going to have to figure that out. I haven't figured it out since the game came out. It hasn't worked for me, but I want it to work. I do, so we can see replays, so I can jump to cars without, you know, having to fly through the whole grid. This is a 3-way battle now. They both caught up to Hover. So Hover, a little bit slow in one of these sectors, has let them come right back up on him. Just did his fastest lap with a 2:04. That is the quickest Hover has gone. Might still go quicker yet. Whoa! Whoa! That is finalized. Way off in Spoon. Just didn't turn. The car did not turn. I think he missed his braking. Didn't slow down in time. He is lucky that it was a relatively drama-free off into Spoon there, but he's out of the battle. Here comes the Stig behind him. And now up front, that battle for 7th is only 2 cars, Shred and Hover. Gotta be careful, y'all. Don't miss your braking points. It can be so easy to do, though, when you're right behind another car, just like this. Look at Shred. Look at Hover. You're gonna see as they enter turn 1 just how hard it is to see your braking zone, even if you race in bumper cam like this. Look Hovercraft's car pretty big. Hard to see that braking point to your left there. Even easier to go out wide in that dirty air. Shred doing the right thing, staying to the inside of Hover's dirty air. That's what you got to do. You turn in sooner, you brake sooner, you turn in sooner. You try to stay inside of that air, of that hole punched in the air there, because you don't get any downforce when you're in it. So you turn in before your opponent, before in front of you, and try to keep to the inside just to avoid losing too much time behind them. Shred doing a great job of demonstrating that, but it is hard. It is really hard when you can't see around the opponent, and I think that's what happened to teammate Finalize there. Couldn't see around Hover going into Spoon, and he ends up missing his braking. Ooh, Shred with a dive into the hairpin, and that's what happened. That's what I thought might happen the last time. He's on the inside. It's off camber there, or it's very cambered there, actually. It's not off, it's very cambered. So when you're too far in, it's so easy for that car to want to continue turning left, especially if you get on the gas too soon. Wow, big mistake there for Shred. That's going to let Finalize go through, and now Finalize is right back on Hover's tail. So, you know, this team not letting them go. What is the name of this team? Let's see if we can find something. Flying Fox Racing. So, FFR. Team FFR making mistakes behind the S7R boys. It's a good looking livery right there. I really like that a lot. I like it a lot. Finalize right back up on Hover's bumper, though. Hover has to be worried about what's going on back there. Where is the speed? He's wondering right now, where's my pace? These guys are catching me. They're falling off track and catching right back up to me. Remember, Finalized a lap ago made a huge mistake into Spoon, and now look at how he closes up in turn one. Ooh, I almost dropped my controller. Sorry. Closes right up on the back of Hover's car in turn one, starting to hound him in the S's here, maybe looking to force Hover into a mistake as they drive through this very difficult part of the track. It requires so much patience to get through here quickly. But quickly you must get through it. Hover saves himself here, maybe saved a little bit by that bad draft that you get in the S's. It's just not easy to go as fast as the car in front of you through there. Meanwhile, the Stig, S7R Stig, hanging out, looking to see if he can catch up to these two. Shred, though, man, Shred 16.5 seconds behind the Stig with damage on the front of that car. That spin really, really hurt him. Last lap around, coming into this corner, actually, coming into the hairpin. Now, no one to dive in front of. It's just not advised to stay to the inside there. It is very tempting to make a move into the hairpin, and it can be done, but it's so dangerous on the very inside of the track there. I try to stay away. My strategy is simply get a great exit out of the hairpin and try them at Spoon. Spoon can carry its own, or not can. Spoon does have its own challenges, but it's definitely a better bet to try and make a move into Spoon than anywhere else. Everyone behind, not in a battle, not really getting anything done. Lucas, though, only 2.6 seconds from Batty. 2.6, 2.5, not really running away. They do yet another fastest lap 2 laps ago with a 1:59.8. Batty dropped his own 1:59.8 2 laps ago as well. Lucas beating it by just a few thousandths of a second. And so Batty really on a tear, chasing after first place. He definitely wants it. It's within sight. You can see from Batty's point of view that Lucas isn't that far off. You can't see over the crest of this corner here, but there he is. He's right there. Any mistake, and Batty is right back on his bumper. He's got nothing but clear air behind him. Nobody to worry about coming up behind there. Purple for Batty in the third sector. Not by a lot, but purple is purple. We're ending the lap right here Let's see what he can do when he crosses the line. In fact, we haven't had a lap on board with someone. Let's go ahead and do it while we don't have any battles. Excuse me. There he goes. Gets the fast lap with a 1:59.7 down the front straight, heading into turn 1 now. This is a double apex turn. Probably one of the more difficult turns in motorsport. Downhill, double apex. It's very easy to go out wide, and when you do, you end up going out far. Coming into the S's, I think these might be called the Senna. No, Senna S's are at Interlagos. These are just called the S's. One of my favorite parts of this track. It takes a lot of balance and patience to get through there. You really are making the car dance through the S's. Up the final corner, uphill to the left here to enter the Degners. This is Degner 1. Quick stab on the brakes here to turn in for this, and then harder on the brakes for Degner 2. Try to keep it smooth, use all the track on the outside here, and Batty does a great job doing that. And now on the brakes for the hairpin. This is the slowest corner on the track. I think even slower than the triangle. As long as you get a good exit out of here, you're good. Now the uphill run into Spoon. I think the Spoon is the bane of many people's existence. It's so easy to go out wide there. You just have to know what you're doing. You have to commit to going fast, but almost a 90-degree left here. Just keep it tight on the right. Do not go out too wide. A late apex for the second apex of Spoon. Again, use as much of the track as you dare coming out of there onto the back straight. Straighten that back straight up as much as possible as you head into the named corner 130R. A slight lift through here. Sometimes you can keep it full throttle if you are brave, but Batty does lift. And then hard on the brakes for the Casio triangle. These are the last 3 corners on the track. It's very important to get a good exit out of here for that front straight, and that is a lap around Suzuka Circuit with Jay Batty, who spent that lap getting just a little bit closer to Lucas. Lucas? I'm just gonna say it's spelled Lucas, but I don't think I'm allowed to curse. Lucas. Handsome Banana about to lap Fast Ginger, who sits in last place. So Fast Ginger getting lapped by our 3rd place driver. You can see dips out of the way there, does the right thing. Blue flag rules are in effect in this league. If you're not familiar with blue flag rules, what that means basically is if you are about to be lapped by a driver, meaning you are not battling that driver, they are literally a whole lap ahead of you, you got to move out of the way as soon as it's safe to do so. It is up to the driver that is passing to pass safely, of course. They cannot be impatient about it. However, the driver that is being lapped cannot hold them up in any way. The only reason they should stay in front is because it's not yet safe to pull over and let them by. Fast Ginger doing a great job there, doing it safely, doing it quickly, off to the side, in the front straight. This is a pro driver. He may be last in this race. However, he is still one of the fastest drivers in the league. Highly professional, knows what he's doing. Now, behind Handsome Banana, Durnett is in 4th place. Got the truth behind them. Durnett, again, fighting their way up to this part of the order after falling down to 6th place. After being in 2nd for so long. I do believe some of that might have been under fueling in the pit stops. We're going to see how that plays out for them towards the end of the race. They do have less fuel in that car than the truth. This is Durnett. This is the truth. That may come into play later on in the race, or now if Durnett is saving fuel. We got about half an hour left to go, about 32 minutes left, and that fuel has to last. Rusty hasn't had anyone to race in a long time. Basically, from the beginning of the race, Rusty has been in no man's land in 6th place. I believe in 5th at one point, but Rusty not really catching up to anyone, but also making sure that nobody catches up to him. Finalized in 6th is 30 seconds behind him. Finalized has made that pass on Hover, made it stick, now has 2.5 seconds on Hover. Hover and Stig, S7R teammates running together. Stig just 1 second behind Hover. I'm sure they're in a party together, talking to one another, talking each other through the race, encouraging each other. I wish I were in the party. I could be in the party. But then they'd get mad at me for yelling while I commentate. Well, I guess I could just listen. I just mute my mic. Regardless, we're not there. We are here. I'm here with you guys, giving you the commentary. Shred, 10th place, 12.5 seconds behind Stig. It's been really bad luck for Shred throughout this race. Every time they seem to be doing great. Every time they're in a battle, you're very excited for them. They seem to be quick, but then disaster. Being quick is one thing, consistency is another. The order of this grid, the designation as a pro driver came from hot laps in a qualifying environment, and a solo qualifying environment at that. So you're not sharing the racetrack with anyone else. If you are good at hot lapping, you're gonna get a better time, and you're gonna end up someplace in the top lobby. However, in a real race, it's different. You are sharing the track. You are battling. Conditions are not ideal. This is a different car on different tires. Qualifying was in the Citroën GT on the racing softs. We are in the RCZ on the racing mediums and racing hards. You may not show the same pace. Shred, showing that they're very quick. They're able to catch up to people. They're able to fight and battle people, but they haven't been able to keep it on the track, and that is what has kept them from getting into the top 5 here. Ando, also having some bad luck himself. I don't know what happened the first time. I do remember seeing him pitting with damage on the front splitter. However, the second time, he was clearly taken out. Maybe not on purpose, possibly an accident from Shred, but Shred seemed to have missed his braking into the Casio chicane. That sent Ando off track and spinning into the wall, and he ended up with damage, which he fixed during the pit stop. But that loses time, right? First of all, you have to spin. Of course, you have to recover, throw it into reverse, try to get out of it, get back on the track, be ginger with those tires because now they're dirty. You've been all in the dust. And then you sit in the pits for an extra 2 to 3 seconds to fix the car. It can be devastating. And so we show Ando in 11th place. We have Batty here behind Grave getting lapped, but notice how close Batty is to Lucas. Lucas is right there. Batty getting a free tow from Grove back here, but Grove has got to move out of the way eventually, maybe into, oh, well, he does it by going way too wide in 130R. That might be a penalty for him, but Batty through easily there. Batty chasing down Lucas in first place here. 1.2 seconds between the two of them. I told you, he's got that, listen, he's got the bit in his mouth. He can see Lucas's car physically getting larger and larger. I don't know what's going on with Lucas, if he may be saving fuel, just trying to save those tires. We do have a little less than 30 minutes to go that those tires still have to last. I believe we're going to see, I said 49 laps, but I was way off. I guess I don't remember what people said as far as laps go. But Batty behind him and getting closer and closer. Lucas's right-hand side tires look a little bit worse than Batty's. This is Batty's situation. You can barely see the difference between the two of them, honestly. But Batty's still getting closer and closer and closer, showing that pace off. He does maintain the fastest lap. Don't think anyone's going to get quicker than him at this point. No one's got very much fresher tires, except maybe Cyclone, who pitted so late. But Batty with a 1:59.7 as he has chased Lucas down. He's still doing 2-minute flats. Last lap was a 2:01. So was Lucas's. These two drivers sometimes seem to be very evenly matched. Other times it seems that Batty has the clear advantage, but Lucas's advantage when he was on the hards in the first half of the race has all but vanished. it hasn't completely vanished. Batty is there, obviously, but look, it's 20 seconds between them and third place. They are pretty secure in first and second, unless they do some incredibly stupid things or have some incredibly unfortunate things happen to them. This battle, third, fourth, and fifth, has been going pretty much all race. There has always been a gaggle of cars right here, and these three were always in it, except Durned for a little bit of time. But Handsome Banana has been holding firm in second and third place. The Truth has been there since the very beginning of the race, also in fifth place, just biding his time, waiting. The Truth is a strategist. I mean, listening to him in chat or seeing what he writes in the Discord on the team, you can see like he's thinking about everything. He runs through each race several times, runs through several scenarios, and will make slight changes just to eke out an extra 10 or 20 seconds in over the course of a race, which it matters. It matters. It matters. So interesting to see. I'm interested in seeing what he ends up doing in this race. Let's check in with Batty and Lucas. 1.2 seconds between our two leaders here. Both of them in orange RCZs. Both of them looking to see if they can't be the first winner of this season. The first pro winner. The first Lobby 1 winner in the season. Because that sets the tone, doesn't it? That sets the tone for your season. When you can say, hey, I was the winner, I was on the podium, I was whatever. All these points count. You just gotta go for it. You gotta go for it. Those two absolutely going for it. Batty phenomenal in the second half of that first stint, making passes left and right, making short work of people, quite frankly. Batty was squarely in that battle with Banana and the Truth, and I believe Durned at some point as well, and now it's 20 seconds ahead of them. So Batty seriously putting on the afterburners there to catch back up to the first place driver, Lucas. The Stig has lost touch with his friend Hover, but he still seems to be doing all right. Just had a 2:02.7 3 laps ago, so that severely hindered him. That's about a second slower than what he was doing beforehand. I had a 2:02 flat 2 laps before that, so Stig with some inconsistent lap times. What's the wind doing? The wind speed has increased, and it has changed a little bit. The wind going squarely east now, which is favorable for this corner right here, this straight right here. You get a tailwind going into 130R, going down that back straight, and it is almost a tailwind in the front straight as well. Just a little bit off, a little bit crosswindy. However, it should still help these drivers. So favorable winds here as we wind down this race, as we come into the final quarter of the race. We're 1 hour and 37 minutes in. And right now, these drivers are now fighting to see what positions can I gain, what points can I gain, what is salvageable for me. The points championship, or the points format, is a little bit interesting. I will talk about the points in Lobby 1 only. First place will get 78 points, second will get 76, third 74 points, and fourth 72 points. After this, it's 1 point at a time, so fifth gets 71 points, sixth 70 points, seventh will get 69 points, and eighth with 68 points. Ninth place will take 67 points, 10th 66, 11th 65, 12th 64, 13th 63, 14th 62, and 15th 61 points. So even if you end up dead last in this lobby, you still pick up 61 points, which is more than, the same as fourth place in Lobby 2. You can check out the point system on the website, gtchampions.com. Go up to events on the top of the screen, Hover over that, click GT7 events, click on World Cup Season 7. You will find the rules. Click to download the rules and you will see the point structure, and you'll also see results on that same page as the season wears in. Or, well, they might be in the stats results area actually. You go to stats results, race results 2024, Gran Turismo, you'll see it. It all makes sense once you get on the website. It's gtchampions.com for all the info you need regarding these races. It's Saturday, and if I recall correctly, typically by Wednesday or Thursday, finalized results are in. The reason that it takes so long is that we have a great team of stewards who go over all the incidents. Drivers are allowed to report any incidents they got into. If they feel like, hey, I was harmed in this incident, here's the video of what happened. Our stewards go over that and make adjustments to finishing orders or times as needed. And that could change the finishing order, which is why we wait until Wednesday or Thursday for those finalized results, as the on-track results might change if someone is handed a penalty. I wonder when it's going to pop off between these three. We have 20 minutes of racing left. The truth might decide now's the time to go, or think, no, it's too soon. Ooh, the truth out way wide in 130R. That's not good. That's going to get those tires real dirty going into the chicane. And so the chicane, known as the Casio Triangle, is a real test. Even when your tires are great, the truth unfortunately does lose a little bit of time there, but manages to stay on the coattails of Durned and even pick up slipstream and get right back there. So good job for the truth. Lucky not to pick up a penalty out there. I think if you go out too wide in 130R, you do pick up a time penalty. Though, well, our penalties, are we using the in-game penalties here? I'm not sure. Yes, shortcut penalty is on, and so very lucky not to get one there. It's not technically a shortcut when you go out wide there, but the game sure likes to treat it like one and hands you a nice punishment. But the truth, able to stay with Durned. Got to get a little bit closer if he's going to make a move, though. I would think that now is the time to pop off for one of these drivers. Maybe within the next 5 minutes. If they're feeling a little more confident, they might leave it to minute 10 or so, but these tires are only going to get more worn out. And so if it were me, I'd decide now, I want to fight, I want to battle, I want to make dives, I want to get in, make a position up, because it'll be easier for me to defend even with worn tires. Everyone behind me's also got worn tires, so it's going to be easier to defend than to try to make passes once those tires lose all their grip. Looks like Lucas is starting to pull away from Batty again. That gap is up to 2 seconds. We never really saw it get below 1.5 seconds. Not too much further now, but Lucas starting to show a little bit of pace again. Batty had a 2:01.6 in that last lap. Ooh, lap 48, a 2:02. So mistakes being made by Batty here, where when he should still have the pace to be pulling twos. Meanwhile, Lucas steadily pulling 2:01s. However, I think that 2:02 really hurt Jay Batty. He is pulling back up to Lucas now, though. So another battle probably still in the works for first place, maybe. Certainly, this battle for third has to start soon. Right now, it's all cooperation and hanging out and being cute. Of course, the first two drivers in this are teammates with Revolution Gaming, Handsome Banana, and Durned. But at some point, one of them is going to decide, okay, it's time to drop the hammer. All bets are off, teammate. We out. But again, racing can be about patience. I would do this differently, as I've said, but it is about patience. Handsome Banana, maybe turning up the speed. I don't know. 202 is the last time around. A 202.6 on lap 49. That wasn't good. That was an entire second, 1.1 seconds slower than the lap before it. That's not a very linear progression there. Dermed wide into 130R, having trouble getting back on the track. That's going to give the truth the position here. Dermed unfortunately stayed out a little bit too long. It's easy to get stuck there and not be able to get back on the track, and that gives the truth a free position. He didn't even have to fight for it. He's going to jump up behind Banana, though. Banana trying to break the toe, trying to go defensive. The truth follows him to the inside of the track there as they both head back into turn one, and the truth perhaps using this as a sign. Is that traffic up there? Yes, it is. That is Grave. So Grave, Handsome Banana's teammate, about to get lapped. He's going to let Handsome Banana through. He's going to have to let the truth through. He can't stop him. He can't save his teammate there. Does he get in Derned's way? No, he does not. He stays out for Derned as well, though Derned seemed to be slowed down just a little bit by it. Friendly traffic is the best traffic, but of course, I'm sure they were wishing, like, damn, I wish there had been some way for the truth to get stuck behind him for just a little bit so that Banana could run away and that Derned could get that much closer. But Grave doing the right thing and just getting out of the way. Again, blue flags are in effect, so we want to be respectful of that, of course. Fantastic racing here so far. It's only going to get better. It's only going to get better as these drivers get deeper into the championship, as they recognize, hey, I want to make this win. I want to get high up in the championship. I want this coin. They're just gonna fight harder, and that's what I love about a long season, right? A lot of racing seasons are 5 races, maybe 6 races long. But when you've got 12 races, I mean, there's just real reason to fight as hard as you can every single race, because every race is now an opportunity. Even if it's just for 1 point, you get that 1 point, and you, it might be what you needed, right? It might be exactly what you needed to get another position in the championship or even win the championship. So we will see these drivers driving harder and harder as the season wears on. They're already starting now. I'm looking at Hover. I meant to be looking back at this battle here. Derned losing time to the Truth, losing a lot of time, 1.7 seconds. Truth is still chasing Handsome Banana down through the Degners here. He's got to get closer to try to make a move, but Banana doing a really good job of keeping him away, staying in front of him. You just gotta hope, hey, maybe something will happen. Maybe a mistake will happen. I'll be right there to capitalize on it. Sometimes, you know, the car in front of you just has more pace. It happens. Then what do you do? Deep into the brakes, going into the triangle. Does he have better braking than Banana? Maybe. 1 second out, gets a better exit. Banana really desperate to keep him out of his air, out of his toe there. The Truth staying with him though. However, they still stay fairly even through that back straight. The Truth gets a little bit closer, keeps a nice tight line through turn one again, trying to stay out of that dirty air in the turn. You only want it in the straight, but in the turns, you want to stay out of that. He's that much closer through the S's. However, he will lose a little bit of time through them. Just chasing, just following, trying to make something happen. That's the name of the game. You don't stop until the race is over. And even then, you just go practice for the next race. Or is that just me being a bit too strict? You end the race, you go practice the next race. You don't get to go home. You don't get to turn off the PlayStation and go eat dinner or something like that. Absolutely not. We get back on that track. We pay attention to the mistakes we made and we fix them. Alright, let me stop. I'm not even that disciplined. What's going on in front? Whoa! Batty within a second of Lucas. We have a fight, guys. He's in the slip. They're gonna go into Casio. He's gotta get a good exit here so he can stay right there in Lucas's air. Get in there. Lucas gonna keep a nice tight line, already trying to break the toe. He crosses the track very quickly. Batty's fuel looks pretty low here. However, we're almost done with the race. Before they... Oh, Batty out wide in turn one. Batty is going to mess up his chances at catching up to Lucas as we come to the final stretches of this race. What a mistake. Oh my gosh, you don't want to do that. There's 9 minutes left in the race. Just a few laps left. Batty, unfortunately, oh my gosh, he spent the last 10 laps or so really chasing Lucas down, getting that gap down to within a second. Now it's back up to 2 seconds because of one simple mistake. We've seen turn one take a few people out. And as you can see, even our fastest drivers are not impervious to it. Oh, he's out wide in Degner 2. He is unable to compose himself after that mistake. He's just gonna lose even more time to Lucas. Meanwhile, Handsome Banana still too far to make anything happen. So Batty doesn't have to worry about anyone coming behind him, but certainly not going to get the person in front if that's what he was looking for. That said, like, we still have those 9 minutes, maybe 8 minutes now left in the race. That's still enough to try and catch up if Lucas has issues. I want to say thank you to our supporters, to our donators, Hannum Doe, Lee Murray, Warwick Todd, David Bronca, Stephen Hines, Morgan Smith, and Michael Chalita. It does indeed take a village to support us, to make things happen. If you are interested in supporting GT Champions, it costs money to make these high quality streams for you. It costs money to get the graphics. It costs money to get the coins. So help us out. Help us keep on putting the World Cup. Help us keep on putting on great racing. And we'll love you for it. You can find our PayPal information on gtchampions.com. Well, the truth, starting to get closer to Banana here. Maybe close to being within striking distance for this last spot on the podium. Again, this is the best they're going to get, is third place. Third place is available, and that is 2 points more than what he'd get for fourth place. So definitely worth making the move. I mean, like I said, 1 point is worth making the move for, but I think the Truth is ready now to pop that court when you have 6 minutes left of racing and you have someone's bumper right in front of you. There's no reason not to try to put that bumper behind you. So the Truth chasing down Handsome Banana, getting closer and closer, ever more dangerous. They're coming through Spoon now. He's probably going to have an opportunity into 130R, but you got to be pretty brave to make that work. After 130R, there's the Casio Triangle. There's turn 1. Lots of options to make a pass here before they get to the S's, where he's going to lose time and he's going to struggle to make a pass and have to wait for yet another opportunity. He doesn't make it happen in a 130R. He doesn't take a dive into Casio. Maybe he'll do something into turn 1. Let's go behind Handsome. Let's just watch the Truth, see how he comes up. Handsome taking the same line he's been taking through that last corner, just taking the absolute shortest route he can. Ooh, they're in the braking zone for turn 1 now. The Truth not able to do anything except get a little bit closer, maybe try to throw Banana off a little bit there. That bumper bigger and bigger in Handsome Banana's mirrors. And oh man, I know we're showing a lot of info here above our ticker, but that's just what it is. We're gonna see Handsome Banana's gas inputs, ginger on the gas, light on the brakes, just trying to make that car dance through the S's and stay away from the Truth. The Truth not letting him go though. Not really going to be able to make a pass into Dagner, but what happens in the hairpin? He's going to want to be careful. If he dives to the inside of the hairpin, he doesn't want what happened to Shred to happen to him. Or maybe, was it Shred or Finalized? One of those two. One of the Flying Fox Racing. Just like, what? Who? Batty! Right back up on Lucas's Lucas. Now less than half a second. The battle for first is back on. I thought it was over. I was wrong. These two guys battling it out. Batty with a slight advantage on tire wear from Lucas. Look at that on the bottom left there. This is Lucas. This is Batty. Turn 1, Batty, move. No, but don't make that same mistake. Don't go out wide again. He's taking a line that's going to let him get a better exit out of the turn. Gonna try to get side by side for the S's. Not quite able to do it, but definitely showing his face in Lucas's mirrors, making Lucas think about him. Where is he going to make a move? Where is he going to try me at? And while Lucas is thinking about those things, he's not paying attention to the track in front of him. At least that's what Batty's hopes are. That's what's going to happen. We'll see. Lucas is a pro. Lucas has been in WC and dominated for a bit here. What can Batty do? Right on his bumper through Dagner 2. Oh my gosh, it does not get closer than this. Not gonna do anything into the hairpin. He did show the nose, decided, nah, I'm not gonna do it to you here. What happens in Spoon? Do you make a move into Spoon with worn fronts? Like, do you try to dive in there? It's not easy at all. Lucas using all that track, trying to throw Batty off track. It's easy to get caught up in dirty air right there and go wide, and you're gonna go a long way if you do. Batty keeping it nice and tight. Lucas aware that Batty messed himself up in the turn 1 just a few laps ago. Can he keep him outside? Can he keep him to the edge of the track and force him into another mistake behind him just to save him? Just to save him. One more lap to go for these two. Lucas desperate not to let Batty ahead of him. Batty knows, this is my last chance. This is it. We've got a minute and a half left in the race. A lap is 2 minutes. That means this is the last one coming up. I just got to keep this guy behind me for 11 more turns. I just made that number up. I have no idea how many turns there are at Suzuka. But that's how many turns that Lucas has to keep Batty behind him for. Can he do it? Meanwhile, the battle for third rages on as well between Handsome Banana and The Truth. I don't know who to watch. The Truth further back now. The Truth of the mistake in Casio. It's over a second now. He's going to have some catching up to do. So we'll stick with Lucas and Jay. Batty here. Oh my gosh. Batty putting on the pressure. Wanting to get Lucas to look back there at him. Do not watch your braking. It is me. I am the focus. Don't make a mistake here. Oh, Lucas out a little bit wide. Manages to hold on to it. Oh my gosh, it's so easy to spin there. Oh, I'm stressed. I'm stressed. Lucas holds on to it. Batty without an opportunity to make something happen there. Batty looking for an undercut, a better exit out of this hairpin. Maybe. Can he drag race Lucas towards Spoon? Not quite. Lucas also gets a great exit, and he is making that the widest RCZ to ever RCZ. Batty does have a run on him, but he's not able to make anything happen. Lucas driving brilliantly defensive, not blocking, just defensive. Oh, but Lucas a little bit wide. In Spoon coming out of it. Lucas knows it. Goes to break the toe. Try to get away from, take that advantage away from Batty. Batty definitely had the better exit there. Lucas just surviving at this point. 3 more corners to go. 130R. Lucas is wide. In 130R, Lucas is out wide. He's going to have to break sooner. Batty can't go anywhere. Batty trying his best to get ahead of him there. Lucas very, very lucky, very fortunate not to lose out. He is going to take this win. The first race. Oh my gosh, no! Batty took it at the last second. Batty with the 6,000th of a second win over Lucas. He gets a better exit out of the triangle. Lucas, those dirty tires from going wide messed him up. Wow, I did not expect that. Batty comes through with the win after literally battling the entire second stint. He gets it at the last 6,000th of a second. Here come Handsome Banana and The Truth, who's gone. That's Durned. Handsome Banana lets Durned through for third. His teammate, The Truth, takes fifth. What happened there? Is Handsome out of fuel? Durned looks almost to be out of fuel. The Truth down. Rushed everyone down to the very last drip of fuel they have. Oh, Finalized might be out. This is Hover. Hover might get one over on Finalized here. Camera, change the angle. Finalized very low on fuel. Is he going to cross the line? He does cross it. This is giving me PTSD, guys. A couple of months ago, I was racing in the GT Champions. We had a GR2 series, and I was in the battle of my life. The battle for 7th or something like that. Very much mid-pack. But fighting for my life in that battle. Stig in 10th place, out of fuel, but everyone behind him has already been seeing the checkered flag. So lucky for him, he's going to get to coast home with no fuel in that car and keep 10th place. Anyway, I ran out of fuel coming out of the triangle and lost 2 positions. I promise you, I had 1 corner to go and ran out of fuel. We're going to have Ando in 11th, Misdevious in 12th, Cyclone in 13th, Grave in 14th, and Fast Ginger in 15th. Our winner, however, Jay Batty with this spectacular win. There was a little bit of touching there coming over the line. Be curious to know what the stewards have to say about that, but what a finish to our first round of racing here at GT Champions World Cup Season 7, brought to you by Origin Micro. You guys, what was that? Jay Batty, congratulations on the win, up 5 positions. Way to go. What a race. Let's say congratulations to our 3 podium winners, and we'll see them in our interview room here. We got Batty, we got Lucas, we got Handsome Banana. Congrats. Oh, come on. Is that not in my thing? Congratulations. See you in interview. And so, guys, I will be right back. I'm going to jump into the interview room with them. Everybody take a breath. I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to take a breather. I'm going to give y'all a break. I'm going to turn on some music. And I'll be right back. I promise. I promise I'll be back. I just need to, you guys need to, we all need a little break, right? We all need a little bit of moment. All right, I'm going to go get them into the interview room. See ya. All right, everyone, we are back with our 3 podium winners. I have Jay Batty here, Lucas and Dernetti, first, second, and third place. Let's welcome him in. Guys, say hello to the stream. You gotta unmute to say hello to the stream. Oh, there you are. Now I can hear you. Try that again for me.
Good evening.
Good evening. We're going to start with you, Dernetti. You got third place in the race. Can you explain when you went off track? I mean, the whole first stint, you were doing great. You were sitting there in second place, seemed very comfortable, even with cars behind you. What happened? You dropped down to 6th place at some point.
Yeah, well, just getting a bump draft from someone behind, and unfortunately went into turn 1 a bit quicker than I was expecting and just ran off. So
that's what I thought. It looked like your teammate Banana there got you good. Yep, I saw it. You guys were trying to keep Batty behind you, and it didn't work out.
No, not at all. Just a miscalculation on my part.
It happens. It happens to the best of us. You love when your teammate gives you that bump and run, but then, yeah, you forget to hit the brakes a little bit sooner, and that's what happens to you. You did get back up into 4th place, though. I think, was it a jump in the pits? I don't think you made that happen on track, right?
No, it was all pit stop. Yeah, yeah,
All pit stop. I remember I was worried about your fuel. You came out, you were in front of the truth, but he had way more gas in the car than you did. But you made it last. So congratulations there. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Banana let you through at the end there to give you the position back.
yeah. I'm not too sure what that was about. He wasn't talking in the party chat, so I'll have to ask him about that later.
Got it, got it. I wondered if he ran out of fuel, but I was like, I don't think he's out of fuel. I think he's just letting him through, which is
Yeah, I'm
nice
not too
because
sure.
technically he was the reason that you went off and lost the position in the first place. So,
Yeah,
little
maybe that's what it
consolation
was.
prize
I'll have to
there.
ask him.
Maybe, maybe. Anyway, congratulations on the last podium spot. It's a good start to the season for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Lucas. Lucas, it was all going so
Long time
right.
no see, Daddy. Long
Long
time no
time no
see.
see, indeed, indeed. I see you're still dominating, so nothing's changed
Doing what
there.
I can, trying my damnedest. I knew as soon as I mean, when Jake was up to P4 after like lap one, I knew the race was on, and that it was going to come down to the last lap. And sure enough, me and him in our party chat were messing with each other a bit, and then what do? Not pay attention to my fuel and ran out 100 feet to the finish.
Ah, that's what happened. Got it. Thank you. Because man, I was shocked. It looked like there was a little bit of a touch there between the two of you, but I think that might have
Yep,
just been Jakey or Batty trying to get around you
me.
at the last
Nope,
second.
it was me.
It was you.
It was me saying, "Which way you going? You're not going this way,"
Yep,
and he
you were the
still got
problem.
around. Yep.
I was saying that this race was giving me PTSD because the same thing happened to me in that GR2 series that we had a couple of months ago in World Cup. I ran out of fuel on the last corner of the Casio Triangle, pissed after battling for so long. But you still took second place, and apparently it was against a friend, so you must be feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I can't complain too much. I mean, Jake ultimately didn't have the qualifying effort he needed for the preseason qualies, so knew it was going to be tough for him to get through the field. But again, the lap one incident, he managed to get through and managed to get around second and third place. Odin and Banana saying, I mean, we were all the four of us. We were holding a pretty quick pace there in the first 30 minutes, and then yeah, as soon as Jake got around, the race really went on, and I just tried to hold it together as much as I could, and unfortunately lost it by 7 thousandths. But that's perfectly fine. We get a good start for round two.
That's right, absolutely. Jakey J Batty, for those of you who are watching the stream, started this race in six, as you can see from the graphic there, made his way all the way to the top after getting through some pretty fast drivers who usually are closer to being walls than they are cars and drivers. So congratulations to him. Lucas, of course, good job on you for second place. And yeah, you live to fight another day for the next race. I think you probably got the second fastest lap. So you're starting in a good place.
Yeah, I'll be starting P2 behind Jakey. It'll be good fun race. Little touring car Mazdas at Laguna.
Nice. I love it. Can't wait. Jakey, J Batty, congratulations on the win. Boy, you fought for that. I watched you go up the order. You got into a few kerfuffles, but usually made short work of people. Did you think that you could get up to the top when you started this race in sixth?
I was a bit questionable at the start of the race whether I could get through. There's a couple of drivers that I've not seen around here before, so I wasn't sure the pace of them. But as Luke said, I managed to make quick work off the start. I got two drivers into turn one, and then it was just make the most of what I can do from there. And like as soon as I got past the top two, it was just a case of chasing down Luke for that P1.
Man, congratulations. You did it. I mean, you did a great job. I don't remember if you ever went backwards through the order. Did you ever, once you got fourth place, you ever get less than fourth?
I had a small incident with Odin, I believe, at the Casio Triangle. I did let him back through, but I maintained position behind Odin, so wasn't really a loss of position.
Great, great. I saw you make that miss into turn one with like 3 or 4 laps to go. You literally spent the entire second stint chasing Lucas down. You finally got it down to within a second. And I'm guessing Dirty Air just caught you out in turn one and you went out very, very wide. Did you think it was over at that point?
Yeah, I 100% thought it was over at that point. 100%. I was just lucky I was able to get my head back down and catch back up.
Yeah, I noticed. I think after that you made a slight mistake in the Degners, and I thought that you were having a little bit of trouble gaining your composure again. But you obviously did. You caught back up to him. I went away because I thought your battle was over. I went into the battle for third between Banana and the Truth. And when I came back to you, you were back up under Lucas's wing again. Quite frankly, literally right there. And I watched all to the end. What was going through your mind as Lucas ran out of gas? Apparently, you were in a party together talking. Did he tell you he was out of gas?
Yeah, he said coming into Spoon that he might run out, and I looked down at my fuel and I still had 0.8 laps of fuel left, so
Oh,
I just
nice.
started pushing the car as hard as I could.
Absolutely, have to. Either push him or push him out of the way. And you did it. It worked out for you in the very last second, literally. You get him by 6,000th of a second. Congratulations. Excellent race by the both of you. You are my driver of the day, I have to say. So good job there. And we'll see you next round, I hope.
Thank you very much, Tassie. Much appreciated.
Yes, of course. Good night, you guys. Go get a drink of water. Go take a rest. You deserve it.
Thank you, Daddy.
Take care, Al.
Sure thing.
Congrats.
All right, guys, thank you so much for watching and jumping in with us here again. I really enjoyed this race. This was fantastic fun. I love it when we open a season with excitement. Lobby 1, as you can see, is going to be full of drama. As you can see, it's going to be full of great driving. It's going to be everything. So, do join us. Make sure that you join us for subsequent races. We have a full calendar of races for you here. In fact, let me pull that calendar up right quick because it's important that you see it and that you know when to come in. So, 12 races, excuse me. Starting, obviously, today with Suzuka. Next week, we'll be in the Mazda 3, a GT4 car. So, a little bit slower, a little bit less downforce. Still just as fun at Laguna Seca, another one of my favorite tracks. I can't wait. I actually haven't driven the Mazda 3 GT3. I've seen it. I bought it in the game. It's stunning. I drive a Mazda 3 hatchback, so I might be a little bit biased, but great car, great course. Can't wait to see it next weekend, Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Join us again. Now, just a reminder, the winners of these races do get a fantastic winner's coin, 2 inches in diameter. It's gold plated or gold something or other, and it's our token to these drivers. Each coin is individually numbered. You win a championship, you get something that is unique to you that no one else will ever get because no one else can ever have your number. I also want to remind you guys of some other racing that we have going on in the GT Champions world. In iRacing, we have more and more leagues going on there. Currently, we're running our International GT Series. This is multi-class racing. The Pro class in GT3 machinery, the AM class in GT4 machinery. We have 3 races left. They race on Saturdays at 12 p.m. Do not miss it. After that series is over, we start our Formula 4 Cup. If you're into open wheelers, this is the one for you. The Formula 4 car is the first car on the ladder up into Formula 1 for drivers. It's very capable, very fun. The series will take place on all American tracks, some of the best tracks in the world, Road America, Laguna Seca, etc., and on and on. Finally, you've got the MX5 Cup. That is also already started. Last week was the first race, but there's still plenty of racing to go. 5 more rounds. I am racing in this league. Do not go watch the first race. I did horribly. Just skip it. I want us to unlist the YouTube video, but I promise I will come back strong later on. We're in the MX-5 cars, the NRA version, which is basically a factory race car. It comes with a roll cage, stiffer suspension, bucket seats in real life. In this series, we have done full tuning, full racing suspension, etc. You cannot miss it. Thank you again to our newest partner, Sim Race City. See them for all of your sim racing needs, all of your equipment, all of your wheels, rigs, etc. They've got you covered. And another thank you to our new sponsor, Origin Micro. A little bit more serious. If you need computers, switches, all the Ethernet cabling that you can handle, quite frankly, for all your IT needs, check out Origin Micro. I think that's all that I have to say. So, goodbye. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining me for round 1. And I will see y'all next time.
Welcome to Origin Micro, your go-to e-commerce superstore for IT hardware and consumer electronics. With over 2 decades of experience, we've earned a reputation for delivering superior customer service and offering top industry brands at competitive prices. We provide a wide range of products from various manufacturers. From notebooks and desktops to networking equipment and VoIP devices, we've got you covered. Our fully stocked warehouse ensures that you'll find the products you need when you need them. And with our expert team always ready to offer personalized support, you can trust Origin Micro for all your IT needs. Origin Micro, your IT e-commerce superstore, serious deals, superior service.
Are you looking for professional broadcasting on a budget? How about broadcast with colorful commentary, guest commentators, and after-race interviews? Do your league branding and social media graphics need a facelift? Custom results and series graphics looking like a 5th grader did them? Event organization taking up way too much of your time? Engage GTC TV and let us help you show the world your events.